PAR deployment to Louisiana to help clean up after Hurricane Laura. Story number 2. On August 31st, PAR team headed down to Louisiana, and we had some things to overcome to get there. It took us about 12 hours to get to where we were staying at the host church. We had blowout on our trailer, and our windshield on our skid steer, Bobcat skid steer, broke out as we were traveling down. And we did research on the way to try to find a Bobcat dealership to where we could, get a windshield and hopefully get someone to put it in down when we got to where we were going. So after several phone calls by one of the members of PAR volunteers that were with us, he found one in Baton Rouge. Another guy, 2 gentlemen that were following us, pulled off the interstate, picked up the windshield at the Bobcat dealership in Baton Rouge, and they were gracious to leave it outside after we paid for it over the phone, because they were going to be closed by the time we came through. So then the gentleman that was with me, Lindsey Clark, he made arrangements with the Bobcat dealership down in Lake Charles. And the guy said, if you'll be there first thing Tuesday morning, we can't promise you we'll get to you right away, but we will get to you. So the next morning, I had the Bobcat sitting down at the dealership in Lake Charles, waiting on them to open. And the first person I come in contact with was this gentleman named Tim. And he took me around to where I could get in and speak to someone about getting the window replaced. And this guy Tim was the mechanic that worked for the dealership, the Bobcat dealership there in Lake Charles. So they started working on the windshield, and I started talking to this guy Tim, and he said he lived in a city about 20 minutes from there called Iowa City, Louisiana, and he had a lot of damage, and he was trying to clean up as much as he could with his truck, and he'd been off of work for over a week. And that Tuesday, September 1st, was the first day he got back to work after the storm happened, because he'd been cleaning up his property as much as he could. He said no one would help him. He needed some help with his property. And as they replaced the windshield, I was talking to him, saw the damage, and he sent me some pictures. And I said, I tell you what, I said, we're serving 8 days of hope, but and we've got a lot of work to do. And if we can, I can't promise you that we'll help you, but we will do our best to get to you, to get you some help. So fast forward, 5th day, and we were there. 4th or 5th day we were there. God opened the door for us to help this gentleman, Tim, that was the Bobcat mechanic who replaced our windshield. And God was up to something. I could just sense it in my spirit. And so we got to his property there in Iowa City, and he was a little overwhelmed that we came, but we started cleaning his property up and just working. And there's some dangerous work there, but God allowed us to clean up as much of that property as we could, and then we, did what we do with the equipment that God has provided for us to help people that are hurting and in need. And so we met his wife Kim, and she was overwhelmed, just so overwhelmed with us coming as far as we did to help. And so at the end, I found out from his wife by talking to her that he had lost his job before Christmas of last year with a place he'd worked for 21 years, and he'd only been at the Bobcat dealership as a mechanic for about a month. And a lot of things had come against him. His wife her health wasn't too good, and she needed healing, and things just seemed so they seemed so down. In the but in the end, we were able to just love on them in a way that God allows us to help people that are hurting and are in need. And so we were able to bless this couple with cleaning their property up, and just thankful that God put us in his path. I told the gentleman, Tim, that it wasn't a coincidence that our windshield broke out, and for us to meet him to get it repaired, because God knew he needed the help, and he worked it out for us to help him. And it was another God thing, a God powerful moment at the end when we prayed for him, prayed for his wife's healing, and I just shared the gospel with him and told him that there was the only way that you can make it through life was through Jesus Christ, and that he's the only hope that can give us the strength and the peace that we need to get through any any circumstance, any storm, any hard time in our life. And so he was real receptive to it, and his wife was too. And I encouraged them that if they didn't go to church somewhere, to get in church and surrender their life to the Lord. If they hadn't surrendered their life, or maybe they had surrendered their life, but they wasn't walking with the Lord the way they should, but just encouraged them to seek the Lord and surrender their life wholeheartedly to him, so he could just heal them and heal their pain that they were in. And it was just and the couple, of course, was overwhelmed in tears and was so grateful and thankful that we came and helped them with their property. And it was a God-ordained moment, because no one can tell me or the others that were there that God didn't set that up for us to help him, because the windshield broke out and the Bobcat skid steer. We have no idea how it happened. We're driving down the interstate and stopped to get fuel and found out that it was broken. And so that's the second story that sticks out in my mind that's worth sharing. And this is what we do. This is what it's all about. Different people from different denominations coming together as a body of Christ and focusing on Jesus to share the love and the hope of Jesus Christ to these hurting people. And God so blessed us to be able to do that, and I'm so thankful to be part of the PAR organization. There's some amazing women and men. That organization has a heart to serve others, and so I'm so thankful to be part of it. And I love each and every one of the members that are part of the PAR organization. God bless you.